How fast do you think Wyatt's gonna hop in?
Nope, that's the wrong one.
Game show.
Already started out wrong. There it is. Yeah. Every awesome 80s movie.
Wait, hang on,
Ethan,
Ethan.
go back.
Oh, there it is. What, Ethan, what are you doing?
I'm trying to
What are you
open
doing?
the stream to support. Chill out.
Hi, Ethan.
He's opening it on YouTube for some reason.
Because I'm gonna have.
Oh.
I'll count as a viewer.
Oh, okay. There might be an echo, so you should turn the volume
It's
down.
muted. Don't worry.
All right.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody.
Is there a little?
It's me, Wade, and Joshua, and Ethan, and Hudson, and we're gonna tell these children about the 1980s.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So yes, Joshua and I grew up in the 1980s, and we decided that we wanted to watch some of the movies from our childhood culture, or at least today we're going to be watching movie trailers. And because I'm a weirdo, I asked Joshua if he would be interested in doing this, and if we could start basically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. And so since so we're gonna start with January of 1980, and we're gonna go for there. We actually might do January of 1980 and then skip a year to January 1981. And why do we want to do that, Josh?
Because it's the 40th anniversary of 1981. So all the movies that came out in 1981 are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. And if Wade had this idea last year, we could have done the 80s on its 40th, 1980, and then we could have just kept going. But we're a little behind. So we're going to sneak the 1980 ones in as well. But we're going to do the 1981 ones on their 40th anniversary.
That's right. So we're going to try to catch up. So, guys, what young Eklunds, what do you think of 80s movies in general? What are your expectations of the 80s?
They're good.
For the whole ones, I'm expecting to see some good old Halloween props on some string. Good old fake bats going.
Okay, now
Somebody above the thing with a
this would be a
fishing
good
pole.
time to point out that Wade and I grew up in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
We worked at a movie theater in the 80s, so we're fairly well versed in 80s movies. And so when I pulled up the list of movies that came out in 1980 and 1981, I was shocked at the sheer number of movies that not only did it's not like, oh, I forgot about that movie, or man, I remember that, but I never saw that movie. I was like, what are all these crappy movies? I've literally never even heard of these movies. So there's a lot of them in there. I'm probably guessing I've probably only heard of a couple of the trailers that we're going to see tonight, and the rest are going to be completely new.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
Summertime.
Let's get to it.
The movies that you've heard of.
Just some.
Yeah, and I looked at the list briefly. Now, Joshua and the kids and I, we have not watched these trailers, but we have them lined up on YouTube. And so let's look at our first one. So here's a movie poster. We're going to watch the trailer for this in a moment.
Okay.
Joshua, have you ever seen Cardiac Arrest?
I have not seen Cardiac Arrest.
Check out the. It's like medical science needs donors, dead ones.
Be wearing gloves.
When did Coma come out? Coma came out in the 70s, right?
I think so. I think this is a ripoff of Coma.
So I'm guessing this is a Coma ripoff.
But here's the thing. You kind of assume that if you're a donor, like an organ donor, that you're not going to be alive, right? I mean, there's blood donors.
Yeah.
I don't know how scary this is.
I mean, unless it's all
It's a
about kidney
documentary.
donors that are like, they were.
Yeah, there's kidney donors.
Donate one, but so yeah.
Yeah. So it's just stating a fact. It's like, yeah, we need.
Well, no. It doesn't say organ donors. You could be a blood donor.
That's true.
So
They just take out a little bit too much blood.
yeah.
But maybe they're saying, like, we've got enough blood donors. We've got enough bone marrow donors. We need some dead donors.
You know, that same tagline, medical science needs donors, could also be used on any number of 80s like sex comedies.
That's true. Yeah, and we'll probably watch some of those later on. All right, so with the magic of technology, let's see if I can play the trailer for Cardiac Arrest. Here we go.
The test results weren't very promising. You are suffering from severe rheumatic valvular heart disease.
In major hospitals throughout America, heart transplant surgery has become almost routine.
Transplanted heart must come from someone whose body tissue is similar to your own.
The
Makes
real
sense.
problem is finding a healthy
ambulance.
and removing it from the donor immediately after death.
You told me yesterday that I'm going to die, and you're telling me now to be patient?
But at Memorial Hospital, they've developed a method that guarantees a donor exactly when needed.
Okay, what do you think of the acting so far, guys?
It kind of just looked like a documentary.
Yeah, if this was on an 8mm film strip while we were in school, that would not surprise me because that's the kind of quality that.
I like the sound quality of the phone call. That the wah, 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 wah. It's like, yeah, Charlie Brown's mom is calling the hospital.
She needs a new kidney.
First, you told me I'm gonna die, and now you want me to be patient?
An instantaneous procedure known as murder. When you round up everything up the cardiac.
Hey, that's Lojo from Barney Miller.
The skill of a surgeon
Talking about complex medical procedures, not a simple appendectomy.
and the conscience of a killer. Someone is stealing life for sale to the highest bidder.
That's just
Sounds
a
like
cool
he's
name.
gonna pay a lot of money.
Until the attacks are stopped, no one is truly safe.
We think you're next on the list.
Cardiac arrest. Anybody's heart is available.
Don't say anything or you're dead.
Even yours.
Don't say anything, you're dead.
I don't know what I just saw.
Hey, dead people can't talk.
Look at that.
That's not right.
I like the acting. Don't say anything or you're dead.
Whoa.
Well, so one of the things that I'm hoping that Athen and Hudson will do for us is tell us which movie we should watch in its entirety. So, guys, what were your first impressions of Cardiac Arrest?
10 out of 10.
I don't know what
10
the
out of
story
10.
is or anything.
You don't need
I
to
thought
know
it was
what
about
the story,
a hospital
the
movie, but
story
then
is.
a guy got a gun pointed at him and he was
Don't
shot.
talk or you're dead.
And
I'm
there was-
guessing that they're bumping off people and then selling their organs is my guess.
Oh, okay.
Looks pretty.
That was pretty popular.
Looks
in the
pretty intense. Pretty low
Oh,
budget.
good old 80s.
All right.
So that's typical bad.
Yeah.
That
So
one
it's-
almost looked like a
it's-
made for TV. That I mean,
Mhm.
I know there's like straight to video. But
Well, some of these are, what's interesting is that I think some of them had like a small theatrical release, but then were also like shown on TV pretty quickly.
they're shown in 2 theaters, in case there's any Academy Award consideration.
That's
And then,
right. Well, and so that we're by the way, we're trying our best to go in chronological order. And look, we got some people commenting. Hey, Hookla says hello. Nice. Hello. Yeah, we're trying our best to go in chronological order. So having said that, that's a pretty sad way for a decade to begin. A cinematic decade to start off.
yeah,
That
the
is
first
the
Cardiac Arrest.
80s. But
All right.
like one
Yeah.
thing that does help emphasize is my theory that decades don't really start until the 3rd year. Because when you think of the 80s, right, you think of the fashion and the music and that kind of stuff. But if you look at like things from 1980, it's straight up 70s. Because
That's
most
true.
likely it was filmed in 79, right? And so like if you look at like 1980, 1981, and then 82 is on the cusp, right? There's still bell-bottom pants. You know, the
70s kind of cars.
Yeah, big 70s cars, disco-y, you know, kind of music. And it's not really to like once you get to 1983, you're totally in the 80s, right? And the
That's
same
true.
thing happens when you get to like 1990, 1991, still very 80s-ish music and stuff. So some of these early ones you'll see will feel.
So we can expect to see a lot of 70s stuff, which I think this poster looks kind of 70s to me.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Nice.
Oh, and I forgot to ask Joshua, had you ever heard of Cardiac Arrest?
Nope, never.
Okay, I have not either. And we're both pretty movie 80-70, and I had not heard of that. Just tell me what you want. Anything and everything can be a weapon in the war between the sexes. Starring Ally McGraw and Alan King.
Okay, so since it says Alan King, I'm assuming it's a comedy that's not.
Well, that's
funny.
what I wanted to ask. If Athen and Hudson think, does that look like a comedy, Hudson?
I mean,
The
that
guy on the
guy's
floor looks pretty funny.
Okay, so he looks pretty funny. Here's that's a poster, I think, for the VHS. Here's the original movie poster.
Okay.
They're rich, they're in love, they're negotiating. A smashing comedy.
A smashing comedy. There you go.
So this is another movie I don't remember, and I've never heard of it. So let's see.
Minutes ago, who is it? Ally McGraw.
Yeah, Ally McGraw.
You
So,
had asked me minutes ago, like, hey, were Ally McGraw and
Alan
King ever in a movie together? I would say, of course not. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I certainly wouldn't have thought of them as husband and wife together.
No, I didn't even know Alan King made movies. I just thought he went on the Tonight Show.
You know, they left out
Well, he made this one.
smashingly bad.
All right, let's see what kind of screen share I can do.
Go.
I did.
Okay, where is it? That's Windows.
You have them all open.
It's gonna have a real Blake
Movie.
Edwards feel to it, or
Yeah, I bet it will. Let's see. Nope. It's somewhere.
Don't.
There we go.
there we go.
Just tell me what you want.
Did that say 8?
So this was before the Spice Girls. Just tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I want to tell you about how I got married.
Oh my word!
Wow.
This gives me vibes of War of the Roses,
Yeah.
another '80s movie.
Or
8 seconds in.
To be honest, this could just be
Already doing
any
that.
two strangers in New York in 1980, because it was not a good
It's true.
story.
We are 8 seconds in, and already.
Actually, it's a very romantic story.
It's the quintessential deal. But first you gotta define the terms, agree on the principle, get the quid pro quos all nice and tidy. Know what I mean, sweetheart? It was on all the store and restaurant accounts. Cut off all the garages.
He's rich. He's powerful. He adores me.
And if I still want to, I can blackball anybody she tries to sell the apartment to.
I like how trailers back in 1980 didn't care to tell you what the movie's about.
Nope.
They
I
just
don't tell the story.
they just show you clips.
Okay. I believe
These
that
aren't
was
even
our
close.
second. That Peter Weller, I think, was in
Yeah.
that with her, right? Wasn't it?
These aren't even clips. This was just behind the
That
scenes.
was Peter Weller.
I think so. I can't tell because it's pretty low quality and I'm squinting a little bit, but I think that was Peter Weller.
Is that Peter? What?
Not there, but
I think you're right.
Peter Weller.
Let's see what you really want.
39 seconds in, we got another one.
no one will be seated during the fights.
I like how this is.
Messed it up.
The trailer is like 5 times more violent than Cardiac Arrest. All right, there we go.
Yes, when the comedy is worse than the movies. Cardiac
This is
arrest.
what I want. Oh, I really do love you.
What's your real bottom line? Alan King as the quintessential dealer. I can't live like this. I can't live in this squalor. Ally McGraw as the bottom line.
I'm going to tell you something, Max, and I'm only going to say it once. I want you.
Hello.
I want you.
I hate this editing. I
want you to finish the sentence.
I want you to finish a sentence. I have a feeling that scene is the end of the movie where they're because he's in a hospital bed. So I think he just gets up the whole movie.
Yeah.
Can we get an I want you in the chat?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh man. He's dead already.
Yes, I want you to say you love me.
That's totally the end of the movie.
So, what are the odds that like Alan King is in the movie? As long as we don't have to stand up. Okay, you asked for it.
So the entire movie we're going to be laying on the ground getting beaten.
And you know that.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian who's beaten down.
Yeah, so someone had with Ali McGraw in it. Someone had to want to call it Hate Story, right? Didn't they?
Yes.
I want to know how that pitch went for the movie, though. Okay, so how about this? It's a comedy called Tell Me What You Want. Okay, what's the trailer going to be? It's just going to be this girl beating up some guy on the floor all the time.
I have a feeling, though, in the 70s, you didn't really have to pitch an idea. I just imagine like some guy from the studio is walking down the street and sees some lady hitting a guy with a pipe. He's like, yeah, make a movie out of that. Okay, boss, you know, and then something like, have it on my desk by Monday. Some poor slob has to crank out something.
So it's not ready. I shipped it. I shipped it yesterday.
All right.
I would say this. In the 70s, in the 70s and into the 80s, there was a lot of purse violence, but the purse violence has gone down in the 90s.
People don't have purses quite as much.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That needs to be a movie, The Sweep of the Purse Violence.
All right. Well, this looks like it's going to be like serious and creepy. Somebody likes Emily too much.
Too much.
Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's got a knife.
What was cardiac arrest rated?
They kind of the same person.
It doesn't say.
I don't know. All right. So let's.
It wasn't rated because the person that was told to rate it got held at gunpoint and said, if you say anything, you're dead.
So, Joshua, this is another movie that I have no recollection of.
No, none.
And it has Talia Shire in it.
Yeah.
The outlines look like the
Bill Gates' favorite movie, though, right?
I
got one.
That made this whole experience worth it. Because for a second I was like, really?
He likes soccer movies?
And then I read Windows.
I like Talia Shire. Let's see.
Like halfway through the movie, it's just blue screen. That would be the best movie ever.
Yeah. Oh no, I lost my place. Hang on a second.
Say it. You closed the.
I clicked on the X. Clicked on the wrong thing. I closed down Windows. I have a blue screen.
Were you on?
Okay, I found it again.
Go into the big room where it's the prize ship shooting at the castle, and they have the projection of like the fog and the stars.
Yes,
and then we go around the corner, and it's just the big blue screen on the wall.
And it was somehow like darker, and I'm like, I like this better.
All right, let's give it a view.
Windows official favorite HD.
Ah, no.
It's like
No, we don't want more advertising. Okay, here we go.
Came back. He had a knife.
Yeah.
He kept putting it in my throat. Now, I could breathe, and I
this is creepy.
Is that
It makes sounds. I'm scared to feel that.
Ah!
Oh no! Don't do that.
Oh, now you're just adding insult to injury. Gee,
No!
salt in the wound.
Oh man, that guy's. He's not going to be using
Candy Graham.
Long time.
Oh, okay, I'm leaving.
That
Oh,
was a land shark.
that looks like an old female thing. I don't know if that the microphone picked that up, but that's
Watch your
it.
step. Don't let anyone in.
Who is it? Hello?
Whoa.
That was knocking on the door, not
Wow.
the windows.
Yeah,
That was
that was pretty lame.
False
that was
evidence.
lame.
The best part.
I mean,
Was
it's a good
old.
tutorial on what to do if some idiot shoves his arm through your door while the chain's still on. Then that's pretty concise what
But-
you need to do there.
Except for that second part where you slam his fingers. In
Yeah, and I
his
love that,
back
like-
and his arm out.
Like
That's
he has
just
his arm
mean.
to the door. A woman throws her entire weight on there, which most likely breaks your arm. But he doesn't like pull his arm out. He's like slowly taking it out so that she can keep smacking it and get to his hand and stuff like that too.
Oh,
It's
that
like,
comes out.
sure, we get it all the way.
I also love old female Finn Wolfhard.
Old female Finn Wolfhard. Yeah.
His best part of that whole movie.
Yeah, it looks creepy. I hope you guys don't choose that one. I don't think I want to see that one.
That one was lame.
Looks morbid. Now this is, apparently is a documentary in search of historic Jesus, and
The nun. Sorry, Jesus.
Prehistoric.
I like prehistoric Jesus. That would be awesome.
Savior of the dinosaurs.
For God so loved the dinosaurs, he sent prehistoric Jesus. What do you guys think of the like the illustration or whatever? Is that like the Shroud of Turin that's next door, or a frost giant? I'm not sure.
Emperor Palpatine.
Do it.
Oh no!
So historic. So
Darth Jesus. All right. So let's see if I can find that. Joshua, tell us, regale us your thoughts of the TV show In Search Of.
oh man, that show freaked me out when I was a kid. Okay, you've never heard of In Search
No,
Of? But it was a TV show. It was like a half hour, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, it was like a documentary show. It was always about creepy things. It was always like UFOs or Bigfoot or that kind of stuff. But it was awesome because it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy. Okay, it's called In Search Of, and it had a very haunting theme song that theme song has been reused by someone.
Oh yeah.
Like
I can't remember. I'm thinking the X-Files theme song right now.
So there was two shows that used to not freak me out, but kind of freak me out. One was In Search Of. Like I vividly to this day remember one of the episodes is about like these killer ants in Africa that like swarm out and eat you, and I was like, oh, I do not want to ever go there.
I'm good. We got tickets to
and
Africa.
The other
No.
one was One Step Beyond. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so One Step Beyond was sort of like In Search Of, kind of like the Twilight Zone. So they would have these like mystery stories, but while In Search Of was like a documentary style reenactments, and One Step Beyond was like you were watching an episode of the Twilight Zone. It was like that kind of like actors and sets and everything.
Yeah.
If memory serves. but they were always like weird, creepy stories. And then like the guy that made that show, supposedly, this is what I was told at the time, that he had gone, I want to say Africa, research, like he would go around and like, so he'd gone to Africa to like research some episode or some story, and then claimed that the world was not ready for what he found, and then died. And then I was like, oh, what? I remember
found out those killer ants.
There's only one episode that I can remember off the top of my head, but it was about, I think it was World War II. It was a World War II submarine, and the sailors would always hear like a banging, like this, like banging noise, right? And they're like, what is that? It was like and they were all like, they all knew the noise, and it drove them crazy, and they checked everything. They checked every piece of equipment to see if it was loose, everything. They could not find anything. And then years later, when the sub had been decommissioned, they were taking it apart, and they found a skeleton with a wrench of like one of the workers that had died and had been sealed in the hull. I'm sure it's probably not true at all that any of that happened. I certainly don't believe the skeleton was, banging or anything, but those are the kinds of stories that was on those two. So those two, when you're a kid, they had some pretty creepy things.
Creepy stuff. And I also remember, I think around the same time In Search of there was like a show about UFOs, like two guys that were
Project Blue Book
doing research. Yes, that's right. Project Blue Book.
Yes.
They were going.
Hudson, you would have thrived in the 70s because it was all about UFOs and Bigfoot. And
Bigfoot. Oh,
was
so
huge.
much Bigfoot stuff.
That's where I first saw the famous Bigfoot thing was In Search of, right? That footage of the Bigfoot thing that was on In Search of.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's we're going to segue from cryptoids
when you were
to
when you said One Step Beyond, when you were going to say Twilight Zone, when you said I thought you were about to say it's kind of like Toy Story, and I'm like, what?
All right, ready for this one?
By Leonard Nimoy doesn't mean that it's good. I mean, Haunted Lives was there.
I'm not sure why my screen's like this.
April 6, 33 AD. On a hillside near Jerusalem, a man was killed in an agonizing crucifixion. His name was Jesus. Could Jesus work miracles as the Bible claims? Did he heal the sick, give sight to the blind? Was Jesus only an ordinary man, a great prophet, or was he in fact the Son of God? Did he actually rise from the dead 2,000 years ago? There are 18 years of Jesus' life the Bible doesn't account for. Where did he spend those missing years? You'll find new answers in this startling motion picture based on the best-selling book, In Search of Historic Jesus. You'll learn what amazing evidence scientists found when examining the sacred shroud of Turin, claimed to be the burial cloth of Jesus. Find out what astounding proof has been discovered about the most controversial question of all time. See In Search of Historic Jesus. Rated G.
Rated G.
I'm guessing no proof.
For Jesus.
I'm going to guess that no proof is presented because I'm pretty sure I don't recall ever hearing any startling new evidence that's not, the Bible. That was pretty much the ending of the proof, isn't it?
Did I hear the last part correctly that that they're claiming that Jesus is the most controversial Christian of all time?
I suppose you could say
but it's like, he's Jesus? Is he a Christian? He's not following himself. He's right.
I don't know. You're really splitting hairs there. He's not Christian.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought he was Jewish, so maybe that's why he's so controversial. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess he's controversial because he started Christian. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
we won't get into religious stuff. So, what Hudson and Athen? What'd you think of that? Were you intrigued? Would you want to watch that documentary? That cutting edge documentary?
I mean,
I'd watch it if his is the arm that's coming through the door to get Talia Shire. Like
you
if
took
they,
the evidence,
they
give it
intersected,
to me.
that would be a good double feature. But
so I think that
there it is again.
yeah, there. So there's the Shroud of Turin image, and I don't know if there's coincidence or not, but also in January 1980 is this movie, To All a Good Night, and it's like there's like.
In search of historic Jesus, you'll scream till dawn.
Yeah, so there's a creepy blue face. This movie promises that you will scream till dawn, and it's another movie that I don't think I have any recollection of. Although it seems like it's similar to Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I think comes after this.
I guess that big face is like
To All Good Night. I'm assuming it's Christmas.
Yeah. It's strange having like a creepy Christmas movie, but
that's always weird.
I think in the 80s, perhaps starting with this one, they went through all of the holidays to creepify them.
Yes.
Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. I think there's a New Year's Eve one and April Fool's, like every holiday. And tomorrow's Groundhog Day.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got for this one. Oops, can't see.
I have high hope for this train.
The face in Jesus is like, all right, guys, we gotta hurry this photo shoot up. I got places to be. I gotta go be in the poster for Silent Night.
So far, I'm willing to bet that if you worked at a movie theater in January of 1980, you had a lot of time on your hands, because I don't think there was many people coming out to the theater.
It was January's kind of downtime at the movie theater.
Jesus, why not?
All right, I'm gonna try to share this.
Yeah, it would be totally dead, except on Sunday, and you get slammed from all the church groups going out to see historic Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we didn't have enough people on.
And yeah.
Oh no.
Here we go. It's gonna be scary.
And then you got some little old church ladies that
the Calvin
go into
school
the wrong theater.
Why is your screen being all weird?
I don't know. I guess
finishing school for girls. Oh no.
Whoa. No, wrong one.
Serious location.
Side hustling, episode 107.
Working on my side hustle.
It was the start of Christmas vacation. A few staying. And they planned.
Hey, there's nudity. Great. What is there nudity? Okay.
In the trailer.
Wow. I know it's a trailer on YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
All right. Well, I'm not going to keep playing that one. Joshua and I will preview this later.
It makes that big face in the sky a whole lot more creepier.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I get out of here.
What are you looking at?
None of that.
I don't remember. I don't remember any movie trailers having nudity in them. Do you?
No. I mean, I can't. It had to be at least the mid 90s, I think. The first time I saw a Red Band trailer.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. I was like, "What?" I'm so used to seeing the green that
you see the green band, and it's like. This is for all all audiences. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on. We'll come back to that one. It looks pretty cheesy. Okay, Joshua. So the last movie of actually, I think To All of Goodnight was at the tail end of January. So, but the second to the last movie to end January and to end at least the discussion of January 1980 is this movie called. Caboblanco. Now, I have heard of this movie, but I've never seen it. Have you heard of this movie?
No, but I mean, it's got
an epic adventure.
People you've actually heard of. I mean, you've heard of
the
world. Larry King, but Charles Bronson and Jason Robards.
Yeah, And look, it's so I did Google images of all these posters, and we got this poster came up.
Okay.
And this poster came up.
Nice.
And this poster came up.
Okay.
And this poster came up.
Wow.
And this one.
Okay.
And this one. And that one. Some of these are from different countries or whatever. And look at that one. Pretty fancy.
Macaw.
All right. So clearly cashing in on the Death Wish era Charles Bronson, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, and the 80s actually have a lot of Charles Bronson movies too. Did you like Charles Bronson movies, Josh?
I never really watched. I mean, I've seen him in like younger Charles Bronson in like, which one is he in? How the West Was Won, or which one?
Oh, he was in Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah. So like that era Charles Bronson is great. I never really like old. It was always kind of cheesy. Like he's a tough guy, but he was always like the straight to video Clint Eastwood. You know what I mean? It was like Dirty Harry was a great movie.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood's great, and then it's like, well, we got Charles Bronson.
Do you think every Hollywood screenplay that Clint Eastwood passed on Charles Bronson?
Yes.
Here's the thing I don't know about Charles Bronson is the mustache that he has in so many of these 80s movies.
Yeah. Is it real? Because I think it was. It's weird that he had that, because in his early stuff, he didn't have the mustache.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
The mustache is...
And the mustache... Like, he looks like he could be an Asian Burt Reynolds.
Yes, it's like a weird Fu Manchu mustache that hasn't grown out.
Yeah. All right. So, the only thing I know about this one is that critics did not like it, and they felt it was a ripoff of Casablanca.
Yeah, well, I mean,
even the name.
Yes.
Caboblanco.
What? Casablanca's in theaters again? Well, sort of. It's Caboblanca, if you say it fast.
It's like, those two movies, Stoic Jesus and Prehistoric Jesus. It's like that, but
Okay, let's check it out.
The hunt is on. International adventurers descend on a small town on the coast of Peru. They seek the fabled sunken treasure of the ship called the Brittany. The time is 1948. The town is Caboblanco.
Nothing to do with Casablanca.
Get in here quick. You're missing the trailer, my dude. It's all about our ship.
Brittany. $22 million.
$22 million does not even come close.
The Germans stole it.
You can start diving for the ship again.
The thing's rocking all over the place. The crazy answer me, will you? What the hell's going on? Louis! For Christ's sake, answer now, will you?
That is the Brittany.
Gift what yours.
Gift is the kind of man that doesn't involve himself.
What would happen if they sent you back to the States?
The gas chamber. We're open this.
Why did you come to Caboblanco?
I killed somebody.
Who is he, Dick? He's a nut. He can run fast. And around here, he has enough clout to make the rules in Caboblanco. Tell Toretto to close Caboblanco. Nobody in, nobody out.
I have to pause for a second. Don't you love how long trailers were back in the old days?
Yeah, they had some really epic long ones.
Well, I don't even need to watch the movie after
I was thinking that this is going to wrap up soon.
How many times do you think they say Caboblanco in this movie?
In the movie?
Yeah.
50, 500, a lot.
Like every 2 minutes.
Caboblanco.
Yeah.
Caboblanco.
Welcome to Caboblanco. My favorite line so far is the guy saying, like, what's going to happen if they catch you? The gas chamber? For starters. It's like, really? Like, what happens after that? Then they're going to stick me in the electric chair, a little bit of lethal injection. They'll hang me for a while and finish off with the guillotine.
I'm glad
I don't know what they'll do after that, but
I don't know. We'll see where the day takes it.
I'm glad YouTube is recommending our own live stream.
Man, a lot of doors as weapons. That's a big umbrella.
He could fly with that one, Mary Poppins style.
Ah!
I got it, Caboblanco.
Oh. Right. There you go. I admit, Wade, that I have a soft spot for period movies that don't even remotely look like they were said like in that period. Like, there's not a single thing I've seen in this that says 1948. Like the guy in the totally high-tech submarine, nothing. Nothing.
Well, I think because we grew up watching like 70s TV where they had very low budgets. So, like, I didn't know that Wonder Woman took place in the 1940s when I watched it on TV.
Well, but that's because only the first season did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I was confused.
Yeah. So the first season, I think, was on ABC. I want to say ABC, and it was set during World War II. And I remember them in their old Army uniforms. And then that canceled, and CBS picked it up and wanted to save money by not having to do the period thing. So technically, it just takes place in present day with no explanation. Still had Steve Trevor, still had the same cast.
Well, that's why I was confused. All right. Back to Pierce Bronson. Check out that mustache.
That was a subtle...
fragments of the true cross, golden sense, tears of pearl, inventory, dazzle, wasting time. Don't watch. Where? Up with that pointed at me. Here! Try this on my own. You're dead, man.
Get him! Furniture only fight. Yeah!
Jason Robards, Dominique Sander, and Fernando Rey. Caboblanco, where adventure begins.
I mean, that guy who just got crushed by the bed in that weird little hanging stuff thing, his adventure ended rather quickly.
Wow.
There's a pretty good chance that was like a PA that brought like Charles Bronson the wrong sandwich.
Just behind the scenes footage, that clip never appears in the movie.
Yeah.
Little did I know the director was filming the whole time.
So it seems like Charles Bronson and Jason Robards are always kind of old.
Yes.
Right? They're always
those
sort of leathery, middle-aged to...
Yeah, they last forever because they always... Why is this cat all wet? I don't want a wet cat to jump in their lap.
Yeah.
I jumped in a puddle just before this.
Yeah, there's actors like Burgess Meredith, right?
Yes.
Burgess Meredith was never young. Burgess Meredith had a receding hairline and gray hair and wrinkles like in junior high.
Out of the womb.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Cocoon, Wilfred Bryn, what's his name? Wilfred.
Yeah. Old.
Brimley, right?
Old.
Oh, yeah. All of his life. All right. Well, gang, if I can sort of try to persuade you, I think out of those, I'd be interested in Caboblanco. What do you think, Josh?
I'd give Caboblanco a look. I think Athen wants to check out Tell Me What You Want.
That and Caboblanco.
Okay, yeah.
I think those are definitely.
Tell me what you want. What about you, Hudson?
And I didn't see enough of them.
And we're withholding judgment on
whatever it was called.
To All a Good Night.
To All a Good Night.
Yeah.
We could do one act.
And
yeah, we could.
What do you think?
Horror.
Windows.
Okay. Yeah.
We can try to find out what happened.
Do you have any preference, Hudson?
How long he was in the hospital?
If we were real masochists, we'd each get one assigned to us, and then we'd have to come back, like give a book report on it, so we could cover more of the movie
club.
All right. Okay, so let's do. So Athen thinks we should watch the Tell Me What You Want. Just tell me what you want. No, tell me what you want.
Yeah.
That's your vote.
What you want?
It's a lot of purse slapping going on.
But once again, we
all
can
right.
do a comedy, a horror, and the action, and then that way you get that one.
You could. Well, let's start. What did I didn't hear? What did Hudson vote for?
Same as everyone else. It's Caboblanco and Just Tell Me What You Want.
Okay. So we'll see which ones we can watch, Josh.
Wait, can you go back to that for a second? Go back to that one. This is just like people complain about Photoshop, but before Photoshop, they just had like airbrushing because like if you do like Ali McGraw's leg is
it's
about
like painted
7 feet long in that poster.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the other one is like half that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Cool. Well, let's see. Shall we keep going on to the year 1981?
What do you want? You guys want to do 81?
You want to take a break? We actually have 4 people watching. Apparently, that's nice.
4 people watching.
People, wow.
I think one of those is
one of those is Athen. One of those is Wyatt, but 2 other poor saps are actually watching.
Poor souls.
Like, they just logged on. It's like, oh no, they noticed me.
They noticed. Go. Scatter. Duck and cover.
All right. Well, we could keep going, or we could take a break, or we could call it a night.
You want to keep going? These guys don't call it a night, so
I don't have to do anything till midnight.
All right,
well,
let's go.
Why don't we end this broadcast, and then we'll do another one.
Okay, so give us 5 minutes, and I'll have it. We'll do a punch break, and then we'll start up again.
All right, very cool. Goodbye, everybody.